Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah, baby.
And we are back for episode 233.
Woo! You know what the thing I love about 233 is 233 is a prime number. Not only that, it's a Fibonacci number, which is one in a Fibonacci sequence. And those of you who don't know this, you're stupid. But also, it's for an example, it's one where the sum of the two preceding numbers, each number is the sum of the two preceding numbers. The most well-known one is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, etc. It's also a Sophie Germain prime, a Ramanujan prime, and a Palel prime. The only one that I know out of any of those is the Sophie Germain prime, which means if you multiply it by 2 and add 1, it's also prime. 467, which is 233 times 2 plus 1, is also prime. That's how special this fucking episode is. Not only that, even more special, Halloween motherfucking month motherfucking one.
Yeah, I'm
sure. We fuck our mothers nonstop for 1 month, 31 days of motherfucking.
You went in a direction I did not think you were going to go into.
I was just going to
pipe in and be like, yeah, Halloween, but you went.
No, I went literal with the motherfucking.
You fucked your mother, huh?
I fuck all mothers.
All
mothers, yeah.
Well, this episode goes out to all the mothers in the audience.
That's right, in the audience.
Good
for you. Yes, we are doing this live in front of the Mothers of America, also known as MAM.
This is our first live episode. I'm sure you can tell by the applause in the background.
But yes, yep, absolutely.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
I did
play an actual audio clip of the audience loving our show.
I did.
So don't confuse that with Jer also clapping, because who claps at themselves?
How would you know that? There was so much other stuff in there, but you did see me clapping. Okay.
I could see you clapping. It was weird. We're on stage right now. We're here right now
live
recording from
MOA,
the Necropolis.
The Mothers of America meeting at Necropolis. MOA. Not ma'am, like I said before. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess AM from America.
It's just what you say when you finish up. Thank you, ma'am.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. I came on your tits. That's my sign-off for the week. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
I think Jared just found a new catchphrase.
I did.
Welcome back to the show. We're very happy to have you here. Halloween month going in full kick.
So happy with it.
Jared and I talked a little bit behind the scenes. We love Halloween so much that I'm sure if you've been listening for a while, you noticed we did a Halloween in July and a Halloween in August. And probably Halloween in September, I think. Yeah, I don't even remember at this point.
At this point, we're just a Halloween podcast. But.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna roll through a month of Halloween episodes. We're gonna have special guests on. We're gonna have Lloyd Kaufman.
This one makes more sense, definitely. But yes, continue.
Oh, this one definitely. Yeah. This is the first. But we're gonna have Lloyd Kaufman on next week, owner of Trauma Studios, the longest-running independent film studio in America.
And one of the most badass independent filmmakers ever, other than maybe Mr. Larry Cohen, who we've also had on the show as well. But
we also got the okay from his handler that we can talk about James Gunn's firing, which is going to be a fun little bit of talking.
Because he Kaufman does not pull punches when it comes to, because he's not part of the Hollywood system, so he can say whatever he wants. It's going to be like, I hope Kaufman comes on and it's just like, yeah, I agree with Disney. Fuck James Gunn. Like, that would be a cool story too, I guess, but I would be very surprised if he says that. But.
And if this is your first episode ever and you're tantalized by our Halloween offerings.
Titillated even.
Or tantillated.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a tantric version of that, where you just rub your nipples for hours till they're raw.
Till they're raw, which just happens. Sometimes it happens when you're jogging.
Next week, we're going to have Lloyd Kaufman. The week after, we're going to have a normal episode. And then if you want to stay tuned for the next week after that, we're going to have another interview with Andy Mitten,
yes, yeah.
Who did a couple of horror films. Yellow Brick Road was a previous one. Jared, what was the other one after that?
We Go On, which I saw on Shudder probably a couple years ago now. Maybe it was about a year ago, which was also awesome. And it wasn't until the new film, which is dropping on Shudder exclusively October 18th, called The Witch in the Window, that I was really excited about, because it came out of all these festivals with high regards that I pay attention to, until I finally realized, like, oh, this has a Vermont theme to it, like somebody fixes up a haunted house in Vermont, essentially. I mean, that's a real dumbed down version,
and it's filmed in Vermont.
It was, so I decided to do a little more, like, by digging. I mean, I googled one thing once, and the guy's name, and I was like, oh shit, this guy's actually from Vermont, he went to school in Middlebury, and so I was like, we should. I mean, first of all, I probably wouldn't have thought about it, even though I am really looking forward to this movie and can't wait to see it, because second the Vermont connection made, I was like, we haven't actually discussed anything with like a director or anything from the area for the
So we're gonna have Andy Minton on in a couple weeks, and we are getting a pre-screener of the new movie, so we can get a sneak
I'm
peek
so
at
excited
it.
about, because man, my friends are gonna be so jealous, because I have a few friends who have been looking forward to this, including the friend who told me about this movie, who was like, "You got to check this out," and I'm like, "I will before you, dink." That's what I'm gonna tell him.
That's mainly why we do the show, is to rub things in friends' faces.
We don't have very many friends anymore. It's just me and Scott. We're barely hanging on by a thread, folks.
So make sure to tune in for a fun month of Halloween stuff, and then basically keep rolling it through, because we've already discussed that we are going to keep Halloween rolling through November and December.
We're going through, which is straight.
We usually skip Halloween in November, because there's not a whole lot of Halloween aspects to November, but there's no reason not to dig and find this stuff.
Month. What do you got? Thanksgiving? Like,
fuck Thanksgiving.
Yeah, some pilgrims got molested.
I'm gonna eat a whole bunch of food and talk about how we didn't murder those people.
Yeah, actually, I just said the pilgrims got molested. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I'm guessing the aliens came down and molested them after they molested the Native Americans.
You are a famous pilgrim defender.
I am.
They did no wrong. Yep. They were molested first.
Exactly. Yes.
we had to make them all go extinct. Them being the Native Americans.
Yes. This is the biggest travesty I've seen since the Kavanaugh hearings, where they tried that poor man and his poor family, and he was just working out with Tobin the whole time. I'm talking about Pilgrim Kavanaugh, of course, his ancestor, who did nothing to the Native Americans except for maybe rape them. And big deal, he was negative 450 years old when that happened. You're gonna hold that against him?
Well,
I was working out with Tobin.
Well, that's a maze I don't want to find my way out of.
Okay.
Yeah, see what I did there?
M-A-I-Z-E.
See what I did there?
I saw you lip spelling it.
No, we decided we could pretty much pull some more horror lore and maybe dive deep into the Thanksgiving culture and some of the atrocities, and have a little fun with that. And then
Thanksgiving is like a murder fest for most of the people that experience it.
It's a murder holiday for everyone but white people.
Yeah, but like we celebrate it though.
So we're gonna roll Halloween into November, and we're gonna roll into December, because we always do a horror themed, because of Krampus, because of
a lot of other folklore.
Weird Nordic legends about elves and creatures.
All the cool Christmas like folklore is not like. It's not the way we've capitalized on it and make it all corporatized and all that. Like, these are just like, there's always something that's gonna kill you. They still believe in like a Santa figure, like something's gonna maybe do something right, but most of you little fuckers are assholes, and you're not just gonna get cold, y'all gonna get eaten.
So starting with this episode, we are doing a slightly new format. You'll kind of get the gist of it as we go, and we're gonna roll this format out into the new year, because there's no real reason to stop being horrified by the world you live in, because you have to eat a meal with your family or open a gift.
Yeah, we've always like appreciated
it scary.
We've always liked being escapism to a degree, where we don't report on the we're the news that fell through the cracks, where the stuff that you might not hear about.
And no one thinks about how scary November is, for instance.
But we're not going to cover the scariness of the real world in the sense of like, you got to be terrified by.
I'm covering my sheets. I got sheets on my bed. Taking them off. I'm putting them on November. I'm going to lay them on it. The crusty parts are going to stick up. It's going to make peaks and valleys. And when you go onto those covers, you're going to be like, oh, I'm warm. And be like, oh, you know what else is warm? A turkey. You know what else is warm? A dead body in the snow.
So far, I'm
that's
turned
a Native
on.
American body.
I've never been harder.
Yeah, we're going to talk about those feathers wilting in the sun. Feathers wilt, right?
Fuck it. They do now.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the show proper. We're going to start this episode with a new thing, since we're doing a new kind of thing for the next 3 months. We are going to read 1-star reviews for horror films that meet the month and the holiday.
Yeah, and generally,
this month is
I would say normally highly regarded, or at least even if they're divisive, generally they're highly regarded in their field.
Yeah, but there's horror movies about Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas. So at the top of each show, we're going to read 1-star reviews that meet the holiday that's most pertinent. We're going to start this month off because it's Halloween month with Halloween Part 1.
That's right.
Not the Rob Zombie remake, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis.
And not the new sequel that's also called Halloween, eventually coming out.
Which
but we're talking the original John Carpenter, 1978.
Hey, side note, do you want to go see it in the theater?
I would love to. I can't wait to.
John
Carpenter said he gives it his approval, and he was like, I have no reason to lie because I don't give a shit. He's like, I think this is a good movie. I'm looking forward to it. So.
And it replaces Halloween 2, so literally you can watch the original Halloween and the new one coming to theaters as a 1-2 punch.
Unless you're one of these people on this list who loves some of the other ones, which we're going to get into. Scott, do you want to start off, I guess?
Yeah, sure. These are 1-star reviews off of Amazon.com for the DVD of Halloween. Title, Not Deserving of a Classic Status by Kyle C. Craner. And yeah, I'm calling people the fuck out. And this was in October 3rd of 2018.
Yeah, this was like
meaning
yesterday.
This was yesterday.
As of when we're recording this. Yesterday, yes.
Do not watch. So low budget.
It literally was. It was $300,000. But
women are played as weak. Not worth 90 minutes of your time. Believable story. I'm sure he meant unbelievable.
Yes.
The list can go on. Acting is horrible.
Yes. I disagree with
all
so many of those.
Except
for so low budget, because it was literally low budget. It was an independent film by John Carpenter, who scraped the money together, which of a few $100,000, and made dozens of millions of dollars.
Dozens of millions, huh?
Yes. Well, because it wasn't $100 million, but it was
multiples of 12.
Yes.
12 million, yes. 24 million,
yes,
36 million, 48 million.
I was going to say dozens.
60 million, 72 million.
Yes. Actually, you know what? I'm curious what it made. It may actually be, I hope, just to fuck you. It's a multiple of 12.
Dozens.
It better be, so I can be the right one.
No, a multiple of dozens.
Yes.
All right, you have the next one.
This is
one. If it wasn't titled, I wrote 1 star.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So 1 star. This is by Mbop, because you clearly have good taste. January 8th, 2015, this was posted. Also a gift for the ex-girlfriend. I hope it gives her nightmares.
You almost said fucking nightmares.
I almost did. You noticed I did, yes, because I was like, wait a minute, this is a quote. I can't just add my own flourishes to it. All right.
I think that's just where your brain goes.
Yep, that's right.
All right, next one. Also 1 star because no title. By some guy, and this was on May 8th of 2018. Good opening. And my screen just went blank because I haven't touched my computer in a while.
That's all right.
He said, good opening. An hour of people walking around, then lackluster stabbing. I recommend watching it with the riff track, which riff tracks are good.
I love riff tracks. I actually didn't know they did one for Halloween.
I had no idea they did. Now I may actually go back and watch it.
With they've done a riff tracks for Night of the Living Dead. They do riff tracks sometimes for good movies. Which I'm sure the guys from Riff Tracks probably appreciate this movie.
Now you have a bigger one.
Yeah, that's fine.
The biggest one. In
fact. That's right. Mindless boring exploitation by Bluebell on May 13th, 2018. I don't get the appeal of a movie like this. Lots of mundane, badly developed characters seem to sit and wait around until they become victims. Sexual outspoken women are punished. The killer has no personality, not even a face or a voice, only breathing in a mask. No suspense except for what's created with the music. Dreadful acting by the supporting actors except for Donald Pleasance. Shout out to Donald. The entire movie...
Who's dead?
Yes, yeah.
You have to shout down, not up.
Oh, you think he's in hell? Okay. Donald Pleasance is in hell. You've heard it here, folks.
Scoop!
Yes, that's right. Yes. I did hear that he's a pedophile. I'm just going to spread that around. Donald Pleasance
is. Now he's in hell. That's his hell.
Oh, yeah. No,
he loved working with children. Now he has to work children.
Yeah, exactly. And his hell is fucking children all the time. Anyway, back to it.
Sorry, Donald Pleasance, wherever you are.
Anyway, except for Donald Pleasance, the entire movie seems like just an excuse to watch young girls giggling, having sex, cowering in fear, and being murdered. This movie may be more artistic than its cheap imitations, but it's still mindless, boring exploitation.
He literally described every point for point of what a horror movie is.
He or she. It's Bluebell.
He or she. Yeah. Yes, girls giggling, having sex, cowering in fear. Horror movie tropes.
Yes. And this was before a lot of tropes were even created. This was 78.
A killer that doesn't talk and breathes through a mask. Horror trope. People sitting around waiting to be killed. This helped
create some of the tropes that we're talking about.
People sitting around waiting to be killed. No, they're sitting around and then they get killed.
Yeah.
Like normal people.
They don't know they're going to get killed.
Well, I'm about to get killed. I better jazzercise.
Yeah, just looking at their watch, being like, which people wore in 78.
No, they're listening to the radio, not knowing they're going to get killed, then sitting and doing nothing.
And then they get killed.
All right, next one. Let's talk about Halloween. Let's talk about Halloween. Let's talk about Michael Myers stabbing me.
Good. I like it. It's like it. I wasn't sure where we were going with it. I was trying to sing along for a second.
We didn't sync that last part. This is by an Amazon customer from January 15th of 2000. Everyone says this is such a good movie. I heard it's way better than Halloween H2O. Well, that's good, but this isn't. I'm sorry, but I don't like this.
So what I get is this is somebody who probably was young enough to have never seen a Halloween movie because
first movie was
H2O. So they decided to go back and watch the other ones, and then they said, this isn't as good as the one that invited me to the Halloween franchise.
Why did they call the new one H3O?
They were talking, well, it would be H4O, I think, by now, right? It was
oh
40,
my God, are you fucking
years.
kidding me?
Yeah, 78 is the year you were born.
I'm so old.
Yeah, you were 40.
Yeah, I know.
It literally came out that you can at least have that to, you know.
Yeah, I hope you're sitting around waiting later not to get killed.
I don't expect to get killed, so I'm going to wait around later. Maybe I will get killed, I guess, if that's what you mean. All right, this next one, oh man, Very Whack by Amazon customer on July 9th, 2002. All right. This ain't no classic. This is a boring piece of stuff. For one thing, the Curse of Myers and H2O are much better. Shout out to Paul Rudd and Curse of Michael Myers before he was really big. You know?
Oh my God, Paul Rudd was in that. He looks the same as he does today.
He literally looks the same.
He didn't fucking age in 20 years.
With the devil. This has no gore at all, but I will say the Myers is a scary looking dude. But this doesn't compare to any of the Friday the 13th. Even Jason Takes Manhattan is better than this. So please, don't waste your money on this piece of whack, pile of whack. Wiggity wiggity. So this is definitely somebody's dad writing a review trying to sound like a young guy.
Yeah, and he swore in it, and Amazon corrected it.
Yeah, stuff.
We think stuff is shit.
Yeah.
What do you think dude was? Myers is a scary looking dude.
Piece of cock meat.
I can't even imagine.
Piece of cock meat. Fucking big ol' ass I wanna fuck. That's what he was saying.
We got one more, and this is current. Too Scary is the title, by Reader Gal, September 15th, 2018. It is scary. And it's a 1-star review.
Which is the thing is like, what were you gonna get out of this?
Did you give it a 1 star because you got scared? Like,
you watched a horror movie and got scared. To me, that's 5 stars immediately.
By the way, before we get into, what we're going to call spider droppings, because we do this every Halloween.
Spider web droppings.
Yeah, we don't do web droppings anymore. We do spider web droppings.
That's right. Yeah.
We do want to give a quick disclaimer that this episode may run over all the Halloween ones through the new year.
Yeah.
May actually run over. So if you're listening to us on any of the radio stations like Rainbow Radio
with
Network
the 1 hour cutoff,
or the podcast,
you may hear us
Radio
cut off
Network.
mid-sentence, essentially.
We may cut off at an inopportune moment.
But what a great time to go and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or pretty much anywhere
Podbean, anywhere but iHeartRadio.
Because fuck them.
Fuck iHeartRadio. I hope they fucking die of syphilis.
Yep. So any of those places, this is a good time to subscribe so you can hear everything we have to say, because we are going to get excited. We're going to talk a lot, and we're going to go back to our old format of just talking. Let's do it.
So if you enjoy the show and you're listening to it on a radio station and you're used to the usual cutoff where we're almost perfect every week, definitely go subscribe somewhere where podcasts are found. We are on Google Play too, by the way.
Yep.
I always forget to mention that one because we don't use Samsungs or anything like that as our mobile devices. But we're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're even on Spotify and we're on YouTube now as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So if you just want to just hit your YouTube, a lot of people get their music and whatnot from there. So just do it. Just listen. It'd be great. And if you listen and like us, leave either a comment on YouTube or a 5-star review in one of those spots. And yeah, we appreciate it.
Now it's time to get into Spiderweb Droppings transition music.
We have a real song, so I'm just going to play that now.
Rattle chain, rattle chain, rattle chain, rattle chain.
Do you think if you say rattle chain, it's going to sound like a chain rattling? I don't know.
People can imagine. I'd like to think our audience is very creative, and in their heads they can hear like the clinks.
Clink, clink. Well, you could have just gone clink, clink, clink.
Man, that could be anything.
All right. Well,
I can name 3 things that clink, clink, clink can be.
Like a glass, like a toast.
A toast amongst multiple people. A guy in a jail cell rattling his tin cup against the bars.
Okay.
And
you said at least
chains.
You win. But what? How? Okay, so rattle chain tells people it's clearly a chain rattling.
Spooky sound.
Spooky sound.
I want to do my own record.
Sound.
You know what? I might do. I might on Patreon release my own Halloween
spooky sounds like CD or whatever they call it.
Yeah, like 20 tracks of spooky sounds to play your Halloween party.
Ghost sound,
like
ghost
rattling
sound.
Shades, rattle chain, like spooky cat, meow, spooky.
And how about the eerie ghost? I'm a ghost. This is what I sound like. Ghosty ghost. How you like that ghost? How you like them ghosts?
We might have to put an entire album on Patreon as a maybe a special promotion. Like,
how you like them fucking ghosts? Oh!
I would say we wouldn't release them all singular tracks. We collect all 20, I say.
Well,
but
no, because they're going to be like 4 seconds
and
each.
you drop them all as one like album.
Yeah, you have like 100 different tracks. And you're like, free for the taking, free Halloween sound effects by Lost at Home.
I think I know what I'm doing late night tonight.
That is a new empty promise.
Oh,
Halloween
this
edition.
is not an empty promise. I'm probably making this.
Well, we
tonight.
call it empty, and then we hopefully fill it. Just like people used to call my mom empty till they filled her with whatever I became. Yeah, that's right. I was cum once. That's the name of my autobiography is I Was Cum Once.
Here, we didn't play the actual intro, so do you just want to do it for real?
No, we already did. Yeah, we did.
Let's do it again, just because we waited so long.
Okay.
All right, time for spider web droppings. Beyonce's a witch.
Yeah, Beyonce was accused of
moving on
extreme witchcraft by her ex-drummer.
I love this story.
Yeah, and it's good because this actually opened up a little bit of a, I wouldn't say Google hole, but for the most part, we got a little bit more into
Is that supposed to up a wormhole?
Is that supposed to be more like Halloween-y? Like a
like a worm that digs into corpses. What other wormhole could you ever think of?
The thing I was thinking of is the sandworms from Beetlejuice.
Sure, that works too. Fine. So we can think of 2 wormholes, but no others.
0 more wormholes. There's no such thing. Anyway, so Beyonce, so the ex-drummer of Beyonce, and we say ex, I didn't actually tell if the drummer quit because of this or they quit and then filed this suit. But apparently, Beyonce has been practicing witchcraft against this drummer, and part of the thing that I actually like about this, and I actually hope it's true, is apparently Beyonce killed this woman's, the ex-drummer's cat. Kitten. Not even cat, yeah. Kitten. Yeah, even worse.
That's
somehow.
Like killing a baby.
Cat. Even worse than a baby. A baby cat. Yes, that's what a kitten is, folks.
She was described as practicing extreme witchcraft, magical spells of sexual molestation, and also magical spells of finance.
Yeah, and the drummer, the ex-drummer now, got a restraining order against her, which I gotta say, I mean, I don't know. I mean, is Beyonce? I don't know. Maybe you don't have to worry about Beyonce hanging out with you, but I mean, I guess a restraining order is fine. You don't think she's like too fucking busy to attack you? I don't know. But,
she has lawyers and monies that can just bury anyone, even if this was true.
Oh, this is like just about any, like between her and her husband, especially like between the two of them, they're worth over $1 billion.
Oh, her husband's like, I'm a person who does things and I'm famous. I'm gonna throw money at this problem.
Actually, no. What happened is Jay-Z was like, she fucking killed my kitten too, and that's why like she has power over me.
Did you like my Jay-Z impression?
I did. Yeah, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. That's a good tune.
So this did open up a wormhole, if you will, into other celebrities who also practice witchcraft.
New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. I'm Alicia Keys now.
Oh, whoa! That was her cover?
That was
Didn't
me.
Didn't she die before he made that song?
Alicia Keys is very much alive. Let's not spread that rumor. Yeah, Beyonce fucking just twisted the head off of fucking
Alicia Keys.
Yeah, like it was at a concert. Wait. She went up on stage, twisted Alicia Keys' head off, held it to the crowd, and said, "Nobody says nothing about none of this," and fucking threw it. Ate the rest of Alicia Keys' body and said, "How's that for New York, huh?" Yeah, and then she fucking grabbed her nuts because Beyonce has nuts now because she asked the devil for them.
Are you sure Alicia Keys is alive?
Alicia Keys? Are you thinking of Aretha Franklin? Alicia Keys is like 30, dude.
I don't believe you. I'm Googling it.
Dude, okay, she might be 35.
Yeah, she's alive. Fine.
Of course she is. Why would
That's all.
I'm pretty sure you
all be happy Alicia Keys is alive.
I'm pretty sure you just were thinking of Aretha Franklin.
No. Absolutely not. Their names aren't even similar. I literally thought Alicia Keys was dead.
Maybe you're thinking of like the woman from like TLC or Aaliyah, maybe?
Like Black Eye, what was her name?
Left Eye.
There you go. It wasn't Black Pepper. That was something Salt and Pepper.
Well, you're just getting all sorts of accidental racist in this one.
I lost track of
Black
people.
Eye, Black Pepper, Black JC, etc.
I lost track of people. All right.
Anyway, so the thing that's cool about this story is this actually led us down a little bit of a wormhole, if you will, to kind of look at what other celebrities have done in the sake of like witchcraft or the devil or something like that. And you actually kind of did a little bit of this digging.
I'm going to read off some of the lists that are the least impressive, and let's move on to most impressive.
Yeah, well, and one of them we actually covered when it happened on our show. Azalea Banks, who has a bunch of beefs with a bunch of people.
One of my favorite songs.
That's right.
Fucking Azalea Banks 212 is so good.
Which is crazy because I feel really stupid that we didn't use that as the going out song on episode 212. Granted, we were trying to do copyright free stuff at that point. It was her
witchcraft. She hexed us.
Yep. But she was Brujeria, right?
All right. So a few people who've practiced witchcraft or have at least some fear of it, enough so where it's part of their character, are Patrick Swayze, Katy Perry, Heather Graham, Sybil Shepherd, Elvis Presley, Daryl Hall, Bjork, and Stevie Nicks. Now, a few that we want to make mention of, and one of them, I'm going to start right off the top because we did a story about this a while back. Lana Del Rey, one of the best musical artists of this current period for female singers. Last year was famously known for
You're allowed to call them singers. Just say singers.
Songstress.
Yeah.
Last year was very famous for doing a large witch hex on Trump and asked everyone in the world to join her. Actually, myself, my wife, and my friend Santa Pavon did this. We actually did the same hex the same night.
Thank you for your service.
It kind of proved that witchcraft may not be real.
Not be, yeah.
Or things could have been way worse.
Oh, yeah, that's what people who believe in witchcraft and the occult will tell you. Be like, no, if we didn't stand around and talk to each other on Facebook and plan this thing where we said miscellaneous words at a very specific time, things would have been very different.
No,
you're a bunch of laughs.
You're not wrong, but
I don't think you're one that like believes wholeheartedly in witchcraft or the occult. Yeah.
I thought it was fun to do. I thought it was fun to do a witchcraft hex on Trump, and we did it by all the rules we found.
Worst case scenario, it does nothing, right? Best case scenario, what if witchcraft is real and it does something? Fuck it, I'm in. I would have been game for that.
Speaking of people who kind of dug deep into that hole,
that's how I brought my Nana back. My Nana was dead for a while, and then I brought her back because I hoped she'd blow me because I always want to get blown by a ghost.
But your Nana's ghost? I mean, you could have picked any ghost.
It was the first one there that actually like accepted my incantation or whatever. And so Nana came back like, would you like $20 for your birthday? I was like, blow me, Nana. And Nana fucking blew me. Sucked my dick like a real good old-fashioned ghost.
To be fair, back in your Nana's early days, maybe when she was like closer to your age or even 20, 30 years ago.
This was decrepit. This was decomposed Nana.
Oh, she was still kicking.
No, like, twitching. When she sucked my ding dong, she was falling apart.
Oh no, I wasn't giving a commentary on what stage of life she was in.
Oh, okay.
It was
when she was sucking my dick. I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay.
Sammy Davis Jr. Also,
my favorite of all of these. Actually.
This is my favorite. We probably could have ended with this. Maybe we even will because of time constraints.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis Jr. started his journey into the occult in 1968 after he attended a party that turned out to be a Satan party.
68. Oh shit! No, I missed it.
That's a Satanistic 69. It's where you just lick. It's where you lick the taint.
It's a 69.
It's a 69. But you lick taints.
And for infinity, because that's what the 8 symbol is, sort of like the infinity symbol.
You lick taints forever.
Taint for infinity.
Forever. Mm-hmm. After attending the Satanistic party, Davis continued to attend more of these parties and eventually joined the Church of Satan.
Yeah. Which again, like, for those of you who are not aware or maybe like are religious and assume the Church of Satan means you actually worship you worship Satan as a deity or something like that, what you do is you worship Satan as a symbol. Essentially, all Satanists are atheists who don't believe in God or the devil, but they worship Satan as far as Church of Satan anyway. You're not a Satan worshiper. You're saying it is a sign of freedom and fun and all that kind of stuff.
And it's also like environmental and be kind to your fellow person and don't discriminate
and fuck
don't
when
hate
you wanna fuck.
and don't murder.
Fuck when you want to fuck.
Everyone thinks like Church of
Fuck
Satan.
what you want to fuck, who you want to fuck, when you want to fuck them. I don't care. Do you want to do a fucking line of coke off a fucking priest dick? You just fucking do that if you're a Church of Satan. If you're at the Catholic Church, you got to fucking hide it. You know? That's the difference.
Well said.
I'm crossing my arms like I just made a point.
You definitely just crossed your arms like you made a point.
But I did not make a point, so I'd like you to continue the story and get me out of this jam, Scott.
A few years later, Sammy Davis Jr. would star in the first satanic sitcom, and this was news to me.
I didn't know this happened. I want to see this.
I figure if we go on YouTube, we can find it. It only lasted for less than a season, I believe. It's called
big surprise in what was it, the 60s, 70s?
I know, a satanistic sitcom in the 60s. I mean, look at The Good Place. That's a satanistic sitcom now.
But even then, they're tiptoeing around it where they're like, oh, maybe,
No, not really. That is a deep dive into Satanism.
It is, but they're still acknowledging it's not. It's into
have
Satanism.
You watched all of them up to today's?
But here's
episode?
the thing: it is into Satanism in the way that people who are believing that there is an existence in the afterlife, whereas the Church of Satan believes in no afterlife.
By the way, if you're not watching The Good Place and we're not being sponsored by this, Parks and Rec's creators made it, and it is fucking amazing.
And I dismissed it for a bit.
Me too.
One season, really. I dismissed it for one season.
I waited a whole season, then I marathoned it because I was bored.
Yeah, because I was like, how good could it be? It's like probably a generic sitcom on a generic sitcom station, NBC,
it's on a
right?
shitty station too. NBC's now shitty.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they've had amazing stuff.
NBC used to be good 10 years ago. Now it's shit.
Well, I mean, but they gave us 30 Rock, so I'm like, maybe they have a chance.
10 years ago.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm not going to give this a chance unless I hear something good about it. Everybody raved about it. I heard great things. Finally was like, I got to give this a chance. I did not look back. I've not caught up 100%, but I do know that
I am caught up 100%, and it is great.
But I do know that they acknowledge the existence of good and evil /
so it's
heaven
not
and hell.
Satanistic technically.
Whereas apparently his sitcom also wasn't, because it actually acknowledges the existence of Satan as well.
Because the show starred Sammy Davis Jr. as a demon who would move up and down who would move up within the ranks of hell if he could acquire the soul of a single accountant.
See, this sounds like something
I would watch hell of this, and I'm going to look for it. And everyone
this
out
sounds
there,
like something due
YouTube.
for a remake, at least conceptually, because this sounds actually not unlike
I love
maybe
the
something.
title too. Poor devil.
What is it? My
It's
Pretty
so
Little
good.
Face is going to hell, like similar to that kind of style of thing, only not necessarily on the Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, but yeah, you could definitely remake this kind of thing in that fashion.
The show lacked success and was ended pretty quickly.
Big surprise, right?
Davis was then promoted within the Church of Satan and given the title of Warlock.
Yes! Sammy Davis Jr. was a motherfucking warlock. How cool is that?
Well, how cool is that?
Hey, baby.
I love that you said the word warlock and my computer went to sleep and I typed in warlock as my password because it was just a word being said.
And it worked because that's how the power of Satan... That's how powerful Satan is.
Well, it might have worked because my actual password isn't.
Oh, you lock yourself out of your own computer? Okay, well, anyway. I'm in!
Oh, you're in! I'm in! I cracked the code! Hackers!
By remembering your
hackers!
I'm a hacker because I remembered my own password.
All my brain power went to remembering that one password, so no brain power for this.
All right.
So yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
I think
that's good enough for the Satanists.
Because
honestly, that was the best one.
You know what?
Out of all.
How about we make this a reoccurring segment for the rest of the Halloween month?
That's it.
We
have
bring
a few
up
more that we want to bring. Yeah.
We bring up another famous person who's into witchcraft each week.
Each week. Let's do it. All right. That sounds good. And that way we get to move on to the rest of Spiderweb droppings here. I think we're going into, let's see.
And I'm sorry, we didn't really make any new content out of that, but I think your mention of Adult Swim needing to remake this isn't us making content.
I wasn't even saying like
someone else
I was saying
to make this content.
I was saying like Your Pretty Little Faces Going to Hell, like where it takes place in hell, and it actually from our, I call them our friends at
who won't return any of my messages.
Last podcast,
I keep writing them, and I want them on the show.
Even though like they're way bigger and cool, but like I still call them our friends because they have similar content and stuff.
Yeah.
But they, Henry Zabrowski is the star of that show as well. But but I was thinking like that style of something, but it doesn't necessarily have to be on the network. But like that kind of remake where I want an
HBO 30-minute sitcom, Sammy Davis Jr. hologram.
Yeah.
CG that motherfucker in.
Yeah, baby.
I mentioned Sammy Davis Jr. being in a satanic sitcom in the 60s to my wife, and she goes, "Who's Sammy Davis Jr.?"
She's not young enough to say that. I'm sorry, because otherwise we would be
gave her a bunch of crap.
Because otherwise we would be young enough to say that. Because Sammy Davis Jr. really
could I
wasn't.
stay on your couch tonight? I believe our marriage has been broken up over Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, Jesus
that is
Christ,
the power of his Satanism.
That's what a fucking warlock can do.
Like she knows who he is, but when I said his name in conjunction with the Satanism, mind wipe.
Oh, but that makes sense. It's sort of like when you see somebody that you don't like, when you're in San Francisco and you see a friend from like New Hampshire or something, like you don't necessarily notice that. You're like, wait a minute, I wouldn't expect to see you here, so it's out of context.
I even did a caricature. I'm like, I'm Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, she didn't get it on that.
I did the cigar tab. Like, I'm a black man in the 60s, and I'm on TV.
Yeah, and you like pop your eye out, be like, I got one eye, and I do this thing with Dean Martin, etc. And Frank Sinatra used to probably call me the N-word, but I never reported it.
Didn't do that, but no. She didn't get it. But moving on to Wolfman Story.
Well, it's sort of a story, and I calling it a Wolfman Story is probably misleading. Really, what it is a couple of kids somewhere ran their video because they saw something maybe pop out from behind a tree.
This did come from express.uk.
Yes.
Semi-legitimate news source.
And we did cover the rake video that came out that was similar to this.
I was really worried every time we say rake.
Yes.
It would sound like a different word. Like
you can use your imagination, folks, but we don't want to sound like we're not saying
We're talking about the rake video.
Yeah, the rake, which is a creature, and a while ago we covered a story that had to do with the rakes, and they were...
You raped a story once?
I'm extrapolating
against the hard K on the things you're using it on.
So, yeah, we're like, it's just a cover now, like, clearly. It's like, yeah, I totally... Never mind. I'm stopping. Anyway, so we covered the rake story a while ago.
That cool video, that monster in the woods, it looked honestly kind of really legit.
Cool. This one was like, we both had to like watch the slowed down version where they like had the circle pointing to it, be like, this is what we're talking about. When it comes to that, like, I don't necessarily believe it as much. Granted, like, okay, so the people
I don't believe this one at all.
These people supposedly came, like, they were looking for like frogs and shit. I don't know what they were, like wildlife, and these kids like came across the thing, frogs and whatnot, and it was sort of dark out, and they looked at this tree, and behind it they saw this figure with glowing eyes, and it was dark, so it was just eyes, I guess, with the the refraction, just like you do with like dogs and stuff. And we, when you actually look at the video, it does not convince me that there's anything there except for a reflection of something. Like, it's not just like clear, but everybody else in the comments of this YouTube video was just like,
a Halloween mask.
Clearly the Wolfman is there, and then it blows up on the internet.
Yeah. Did you have any way of extrapolating this into a piece of pop culture?
I would say we literally just make it exactly the shortest found footage movie ever, where people are like, oh my god, it's the wolf. No, never mind, it's a stick, and then they go home. Literally, that's it. It's like it's the worst found footage movie ever, which is saying a lot because there's so many bad ones.
I thought it was a group of people, young kids maybe, like teenagers,
just like that,
trying to make do this as a sitcom. Their whole goal is to always try to create a new creepypasta.
And they're trying to be like the new Slender Man. What if they do that, but they accidentally always uncover something really, really fucking creepy?
It's different.
And open up these new like
the first episode is we're gonna find the Slender Man tonight, and they find like a literal dead body.
Yeah. Oh, not only that, but like,
and it turns into a cop procedural where they stand around a lot waiting to go home, but they're not allowed to leave because they're witnesses. and it's a witty banter while they're hanging out by the cop cars.
And the whole thing is shot in portrait mode on an iPhone, just to piss people off. exactly like this fucking video. Anyway, so yeah, that's
I
good.
would watch that. I would watch that.
It worked. Yeah, I'm not for a season, but as a concept.
Oh, if it was funny and well written for a season, sure.
It's just like them looking around like at their feet and be like, "What are you gonna do?"
It'd
like,
be a YouTube Red show, all shot in portrait mode.
Yeah, and you can just hear the cops talking about all the really badass shit over here. Yeah. But these guys aren't allowed to go anywhere near the crime scene, so they're just like talking to their friends.
As it fades out of credits, you're a cop going like, "Well, if we weren't on this case, we probably could have saved that woman from being murdered down the street."
Yes. Oh, to the next case, boys. Okay, that works.
All right, Jerry brought the next story to the table.
Oh, which one is this?
Win money by sleeping in a coffin.
This is even. I just wanted to note this because this I think is still timely.
It's not happening for another 2 weeks.
That's the reason I wanted to bring this up. This isn't a story. I just wanted to mention everybody. And actually, I'm not going to do a very good job because I don't have any of the details on where you can do this. Okay, Six Flags St. Louis is holding a contest as part of its annual Fright Fest. Now, according to contest rules, you can show up for Fright Fest or whatever it's called, Fright Fest, yeah, and with all your friends and stuff. But you can actually sign up to sleep in a coffin for 30 hours, and anybody who can do that will win $300. By the way, that's $10 an hour. That I don't know what minimum wage is in St. Louis, but you can make minimum wage or less.
Yeah, the dollar amount seems really low. Now, are you allowed to bring your iPhone in and just marathon movies?
If that was the case, because here's the thing, coffin or no, like I'm fine in tight spaces. That's fine.
I'm not the greatest, but if I had an iPhone, I would just not marathon.
Be like, okay, the movie The Descent scares the shit out of me when they're like crawling through like fucking.
Oh, I'm not good with caves.
I can't do that. I would not be able to do that because I'm gonna die here. But a coffin, I'm like, they're gonna open it. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna get a little fucking. I'm gonna shut eye. I'm gonna watch a fucking movie, maybe something like that.
Jerry here learning logic.
Yeah, I've known logic for a while. I'm a math guy. Anyway, so I'd be all about that. But if you want to do anything like this, October 13th, I think it's actually technically October 12th, maybe. Anyway, according to contest rule, coffin dwellers will be laid to rest in their new beds from 1 p.m. on October 13th until 7 p.m. October 14th. So if you're into it and you're around the St. Louis area and you want to do that and make $300 for just laying in the coffin, I'd like to hear what you do and whether or not you're allowed to bring your iPhone in. Because if that's the case, I will buy a $650 round trip plane ticket to St. Louis.
To get $300
to lay in a coffin for 30 hours. and
Halloween logic.
Take fucking 3 days off work and lose money that way. Anyway, so yeah, that wasn't something I wanted to create content for. That was more like an announcement for those of you, because we have listeners from all over the country, all over the globe. If any of you are in that area and are not aware of it, check it out. 30 hours in a coffin for $300. You might just be able to, literally you could sleep for 30 hours.
Yeah, just chill out. Take a vacation.
Yeah, get some rest.
All right, our last story for web droppings this week. Murdered man's body found after a tree that's unusual for the area grew from a seed in his stomach.
Can I tell you something that pisses me off about last podcast on the left right here? Is you had told me about this story recently, and I put the note in about Beyonce story recently. In one of their most recent side stories, they covered both of these fucking things. They're starting to step on our toes, bud.
We might just have to step it up a little bit.
Now, we can't get into a turf war with them because they're very famous and very successful.
And I've asked them to be on the show, and so far they have yet to respond. Although I did it through Instagram, which may not be the best avenue.
I do say they are still probably my favorite podcast out there. But,
yeah, same.
And I listen to them all the time. But anyway, so they may have beat us to the punch. Sorry if you guys have listened to all of this, but we might have a different take. We're going to create some new content out of this anyway. So.
Yeah, so Ahmet Hergun was killed during a conflict between the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots in 1974.
Those are people from Cyprus.
But his body...
I learned that from Last Podcast on the Left. Check out lastpodcastontheleft.com. Subscribe to...
You're dragging our show down while bringing their show up.
Subscribe on iTunes.
You're the guy throwing rocks in the rowboats off the Titanic as you stay on the Titanic.
Look up Last Podcast on the Left on iTunes. Give them a 5-star review, and they will really appreciate it.
So... in 1974, he was missing and his body remained undiscovered for decades. What happened was a single fig tree was found growing out of a cave.
Yes.
That fig tree was not known to be growing in that region.
So it obviously sparked like the scientists that were doing the excavations.
Why is there a fig tree, said the scientist.
Yeah, which they are. They're always saying that. They're always saying that.
Let's go into the cave and find out, said the other scientist.
Oh, there's 2 scientists here. Yep, and they go like...
Scientist 1 said, here's the cave, let's go in. Scientist 2 said, that sounds fun.
That sounds good.
Scientist 1 said, there's the fig tree, we found its base. Scientist 2 said, let's dig. Scientist 1 dug. Scientist 2 ate a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Scientist 1 found a human corpse.
Scientist 2 was still eating that ham sandwich, though. That was a big ham sandwich.
And that human corpse ended up being the missing person.
Yes.
What ended up happening was he was eating figs, swallowed a seed.
Yeah. Which happens apples and shit, you know?
He was running with a couple other people when this attack happened. He ran into a cave to hide. They knew he went in the cave, so they threw a fucking stick of dynamite in to kill him.
And killed a bunch of people, I think.
And they killed everyone in the cave.
Yeah.
They also collapsed the cave and then opened a new hole.
This one dude
on
was
the
smart
side.
enough to fucking swallow a fig seed accidentally. So 40 years later, there's a blooming fig tree
from his corpse
with figs hanging off of it.
Yeah.
People were plucking those figs and eating them.
Eating corpse figs.
Yeah, just like, you ever go to the corpse fig tree? Why do you call that? I don't even know. I just decided I wanted to call it that.
Yeah, I hope when they went to his family, like 40 years later, like his grandchildren, like, well, we found your great-grandfather. Here's part of him, and they hand him like a basket of figs.
Fig Newtons. It's in a box of Fig Newtons, which aren't even made of figs, I don't think, but just...
This is the movie version of the story. The movie version of the story is everything, like him struggling in the war, fighting, death. And this is like, we do credits 45 minutes into this 90-minute movie.
Yes,
it's entirely his story up until the dynamite goes off and the hole goes in, and when the hole shines light on the pile of rocks, and then it illuminates the title.
Yeah, and then
that's
like
45 minutes in, we get the title.
Yeah, we get the title,
and then it's a completely different character, like an archaeologist or whatever, is like searching and finds him, a paleontologist.
Also, I don't know who was looking for anything, but. It could have been either one of those.
Oil prospector.
It could have been anybody who's digging.
A fig enthusiast.
A figologist. Yes.
Fig enthusiast.
Yes, we had a figologist who was looking for fig trees in random places of the world. It's like, I'll never find one here. And he pushes his nerdy glasses up on his fucking dumb face.
We're almost an hour in when they uncover the body and they pick the figs. Yeah. And then it's a race against the clock to find the family before the figs rot that they found, because for some reason they gotta find the family of this man before the figs they picked rot.
Like, I should have brought a cooler, or I could go back and pick some more and put it in a cooler.
That's the MacGuffin. No,
it's the ticking clock is what you need.
He does a Me-23 or whatever the fuck that genetic test is, and hits all these families.
Oh, the one with killer,
with different rotten figs. Like, he's like, oh, he's got you. Well, I'm not his grandfather. And he's like, it's a rotten fig, and he smashes on the ground. You see
finally it goes to somebody who's like,
last fig.
Jimmy? And like, he recognizes the fig. It's got a face on it and shit.
Yeah.
It's you, Jimmy, isn't it? I don't know what the guy's name was, but...
Yeah, and he hands it to the kid, and the kid cries. Oscars.
Wait,
Golden Globes.
Oh, so you're like...
He goes to like the great-grandson.
Okay.
And then
because it was like 40 years ago that like the fig grew out, so even like so the kid of that guy would be like an adult.
A lot of shots of him running back to that fig tree to pick more figs. Check Me-23 on his iPhone.
Yep.
Look for the next person. You see lots of Indiana Jones maps with the dot across the map with the airplane flying.
So he's just a terribly inefficient like figologist.
Well, they threw dynamite in there, and there were like 5 dudes, so the DNA is super mixed up.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he's inefficient because he could have gone there and been like, let me look at all the Me-23 or whatever the fuck it is, like, first, and make like a
I don't even know what that service is called.
No, I can't remember what it is. It's Me Too.
My-21, Me-23, We-41.
I don't know. It's the fucking thing that helped catch the killer anyway. So you get like, the guy could have made like a whole flow chart and be like, well, I'm going to go to these places and put these figs in a fucking, I don't know, they like a refrigerated truck.
Fig chart.
That was like a refrigerated truck.
No, a fig chart with branches like a fig tree. And the fruit are the people. Like you have an animated, like a Wes Anderson thing where like a very symmetrical tree grows up in an animated still with the figs with all the names.
Yes, of course.
And the figs shake and fall as he fails for each one. And like it's 45 minutes of like Jonah Hill, scary thin Jonah Hill, Tatum Beckham. I don't know. I'm naming people who don't exist now.
Tatum Beckham is not a name that's ever existed.
That's my favorite actress.
Tatum Beckham? Sure. Fuck it.
I love all the films like Tatum Beckham.
Name one.
The golf movie about tennis.
Okay, so you got lucky.
Tin Swing.
You got lucky twice. Okay. Fine. So
Maybe this is a real movie of Tin Swing is about when the two rivals of their two sports grew up on the
Tin
same
and swing.
They grew up on the squeaky
Their
swings.
names are last name Tin and last name Swing, too.
And they eventually they eventually
Billy
grow up
Swing.
to go through two different sports, but then they do crossovers, and then they cross back over and do a final championship against each other.
I'm familiar with Tin Swing, bud. You don't have to fucking tell me. All right, I wrote an essay on Tin Swing for my thesis in film school.
Good old Tin Swing.
Yeah. Good old. So that works for that.
You know what we could probably do at this point? We can wind down the show.
I think we can, and we're going to wind down again. Apologies for anybody listening to the radio that might catch not quite catch all of this. In other words, subscribe. Go to iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere you want to go and subscribe.
Google Play.
Yep.
We're going to go out on a segment Jer coined as Mysterious Songs.
Yes.
There were 2 instances recently of mysterious songs in the world. The second one, we're going to extrapolate a little bit on, so I want to give this disclaimer. If you get cut off, definitely subscribe, because we're going to start an ongoing skit, which did we bring up at the beginning of the show? I think we brought it up at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So we're going to do that skit that is based on the second one of these mysterious songs. So enjoy these next 2 segments and try to stay tuned if you can for the skit that follows the show.
Yeah, and the first one is actually, and again, you said we're going to extrapolate on the second one. The first one is from an English town of, I think it's Ipswich, right?
Ipswich!
Yep. Which I think has been like a...
talked about a lot of stories, I feel like.
Wasn't there... No, I'm thinking...
You can get the best sandwich in Ipswich.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of the sandwiches. No, I was actually mixing it up with Dunwich, which is Lovecraftian, but no, Ipswich works as well. But anyway, so there was a very creepy song, which I'm going to play a little clip for you in a second, that had been playing at the same point every night for about a year, and they were not sure exactly why it was playing. And actually, why don't we just stop right now and play a little clip of what these people have been hearing night after night, late night, just at this point, when they are trying to get their sleep. They're trying to get their sleep, Scott. And they get this song.
Let's.
So that's creepy as shit. But so what happened is this woman. I mean, first of all, a lot of people have been hearing this for about a year, and apparently, from what I gathered, only one person decided to like. Everybody else was like, "Oh, that's normal." They talk like this, I guess, and I for some reason thought it was Irish. At first,
that's normal.
Yeah, oh, that's normal. Then like we'll go ahead and just fall asleep to the sounds of these creepy nursery rhymes. And this one woman was like, "This is not normal. Let me actually call some people." And at some point, there was a crack team of investigators that contacted her and was like, "All right, we're gonna stake out your place, and the second it happens, we're gonna fucking spring into action. We're gonna like figure this out." So she finally calls him up and like, "Okay, I'm hearing it again right now. It's coming from Europa way. Let's go." And then they start like going toward it. And they find out there are these I don't know, like not sirens. What am I thinking of? Speakers anyway. Like for like announcement speakers for the
outdoor
town.
Speakers.
Yeah, for the town, or whatever. Probably for like ding dong bells and shit. When people.
Oh yeah, totally ding dong bells. Yeah, we all get ding dong bells. I mean, when I go home some nights, I'm just like don't know when to go to bed until I hear the ding dong bell. Anyway. My house is weird. My wife hates me.
So the thing about, and as you heard, it's a rendition, a very creepy rendition, sung by children with no music behind it. Of "It's Raining, It's Pouring." So they finally actually found out that it was coming from this area that these, from what I understand, it was spiders that essentially accidentally triggered this speaker set to go off at regular intervals and play this song essentially on a nightly basis for a year. Spiders, which actually doesn't make it feel any less creepy.
Yeah,
the spiders
totally.
Like started playing this creepy nursery rhyme for about a year.
I fucking love it, honestly, because if it was like squirrels, it wouldn't be nearly as scary. Not even close.
Yeah. So apparently the sound coming from the speakers was supposed to act as a deterrent for thieves that come onto the person's property, and these spiders apparently triggered this thing that actually resonated this thing across, and apparently it was heard across the whole. So it might work as a deterrent for thieves when they're like on your property, because what the fuck wouldn't? Like, if suddenly you hear a bunch of creepy kids singing a nursery rhyme, I'd be fucking out. But if suddenly it's happening every goddamn night to a town of 133,000 people, like, I'm surprised it took a year for people to actually get behind this and be like, we need to fucking get rid of this thing.
Oh, someone cracked. Someone cracked.
But the rest of the people are just like, dude, I heard this, and you guys heard it just a little while ago. It's so fucking creepy. How can you sleep through that? How can you be like, this is fine? I've seen too many horror movies. Day one, I would have been like, okay, that's an accident. Dude, night number 2, I would have been on the fucking phone or moved. I would have moved. I don't care. I would have upped and burned my house down, burned the town down, killed 133,000 people because of this fucking creepy child nursery rhyme of It's Raining, It's Pouring. Anyway, so that brings us to a more exciting one, which I don't think is as creepy, but it's creepy in the sense that it isn't 100% solved yet. At least as of recording this on October 4th. And also it's closer to us. This is in New York City. So there's this thing called Link NYC. What is Link NYC? Did you ever get any of that?
I did not go through to do the research on what it is. It's a kiosk system.
It's a kiosk system
all throughout the system that apparently allows you, I'm guessing, to buy tickets, maybe to the subway, to buses, to other fares.
I would assume something like that. Hold on.
I feel like an idiot because I thought the same thing, but I literally, because it was your story, I thought that you would have come with the research.
No, the funny thing is, like, I literally just thought about, like, wait, what is that?
It's a communication network bringing fast, free public Wi-Fi to millions of New Yorkers and visitors.
Right, okay, which may actually make sense because
they were saying what
they were saying. Okay, so this thing has been playing this, and you'll be hearing it in a little bit. A slowed down version of the Mr. Frosty jingle at these kiosks, which actually makes sense. Their explanation was that people are a hacker of some kind, or a prankster hacker is utilizing these public Wi-Fi hotspots to dial this number in Iowa. Actually, I think, right?
Yep.
Which. For some reason which doesn't explain the number. Even if they discover why this is happening in New York, it doesn't explain why this phone number exists, where when you call it, it has like, it's essentially a number station. Those of you who don't know number stations, like they were like old holdovers from like World War II specifically, I think, that had they would just chant numbers. A lot of them like were either coordinates, and some of them were like codes that you would actually have to know. Some of them still exist today. They're just going on and on and on. And people love.
And no one knows why, for the most part.
This one is a little bit more. For some reason my Safari is not working very good. But for some reason this one is a little more specific. So it will say stuff about like the one I remember the most is Airplane 47 is. Performing surgery on airplane number 7 or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it will be playing over the slowed down Mr. Frosty theme. And it's a number in Iowa, and it's playing at these kiosks. So even if it's a hacker doing this and they're like trying to like narrow it down and drill down to be like, who's doing this? Even if that is the case, it doesn't tell me why there's this fucking number that has these weird fucking number station type things going on in Iowa.
I don't know. I'm at a loss myself. I find it awesome and creepy. And what I love is that we have a podcast connection with this song. We recently managed to, we tuned into it. We listened to it.
Well, we were looking for this. We called the number.
Yeah,
and we heard some things that were a little more disconcerting than a lot of you would.
Yeah, we found that 2 former guests of the show, Bruce Moran and Jason Jr.
From Meet the Northrops on Patreon, patreon.com/Lost at Home.
They apparently are entangled in this entire new number station scheme. I'm a little worried for both of them. Their message that they sent out to the world, which is on repeat. We're going to play it once at the end of the show this week. It's disconcerting, at least. I think at this point, what we need to do is play it in its entirety, allow all of you to listen to it and understand it and take in the gravity, and hope that next week they come back. I'm pretty sure they will, from the sounds of it.
We're going to be tuning in week after week, and whatever we find, we will be airing. I want to know, like,
we're trying to create this air of dread, but I'm pretty sure at the top of the show we said this is going to go on for like 12 weeks. So
no, we said something would.
Something would. Well, this is it.
In other words, we know they're not getting out.
Yeah, well, we know they're not getting out right off. I just realized we kind of,
we could have played this a little cooler.
Yeah, we could have edited the entire front of the show. Well, what you're about to hear is Bruce Moran and Jason Jr. trapped in this number station.
Yep.
Will they get out? What's going to happen? Well, it's going to take 13
apparently
weeks.
Tune in for 12 plus weeks to find out.
We gave that up at the beginning of the show, so we can't back down on it now.
Oh, we should have rehearsed
thought about that. We could have made this creepy.
Well,
but you know what? It's a podcast.
Regardless, I mean, like, anybody would believe it. By the way, that being said, the song you're about to hear that leads us off is the legit Link NYC song. That's all true.
Yeah, and as soon as that ends, we're going to kick right into part 1 of 13 of. You'll just hear.
Exactly. So, in the meantime, enjoy and get lost.
Get lost.
I think. Oh no, you're right. It was that button. All right. Hello. Is anyone there? This is Bruce Moran. I'm here, wherever that may be, with my friend Jason Jr.
Oh, hello. It's nice to...
Your voice is shit. Let me do the talking here, Jason Jr. Jason Jr. and I were driving around rural Iowa gathering material for our upcoming podcast, Living in America? Why? So we stopped for petrol at this little station in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that's when we blacked out. We woke up in an underground chamber.
A bunker. Let's call it a bunker. More badass.
Well, yeah, an underground bunker. Full of old computers and airplanes and old plastic suits.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of creepy stuff down here. I can only imagine all the crazy sorts of kinky things blokes get into with a plastic suit. Jizz and slide, squirmies, adult monopoly.
Well, we can't seem to find a way out of here. But we did find this handy radio receiver. Playing some creepy music and saying some creepy stuff. We've been under here for a day or two.
A week. Tell him a week. It sounds more badass.
We've been down here for a week, I think. We can't tell since we can't see the sky.
We've done a little sleuthing and I found a stash of canned foods. I'm the only one allowed to eat the tuna fish, though.
Nothing but saltines for me.
Luckily, we were able to hijack the radio signal so we can report on what we found and what else we find while we search for a way out.
Or get rescued.
Right. Although I'm sure we'll find a way out because being rescued is for Sheilas. In the meantime, we'll report on whatever's happening down under here.
Down under? Is that a joke?
Possibly, but frankly, I'm a bit too concerned to know for sure. Hopefully people hear this and realize the danger we're in on this harrowing journey we're embarking upon.
Or they can just call the police for help.
Oh, sure. I'll call for help, I guess. And I know you're all saying, well, if you can talk to us, why don't you just contact the boys in blue directly? Because we're journalists.
Oh, I'm not.
All right, we're one journalist and an ageless British cuck. So we're gonna do our duty and report on whatever codswallop might be going on down here and call this the We're Trapped Down Under Somewhere in America and We Can't Get Out podcast.
Please help us. We have food and water, but no way out. I don't want to die down here, having never seen a pair of breasts.
Oh, wait a minute, little guy. You ain't never seen jugs before? Well, I've seen dozens of knockers in my time, if you want me to describe them to you.
Oh, yeah. Please, sir. Please tell me more.
Well, you've played that game Pudding Balloons before, right? Well, that game where you fill a balloon with pudding and heat it up in the microwave and see how long you can last without fucking it? Well, it's sort of like that, only The pudding balloons, well, they're attached to a lady, possibly a large man if you're into that, and they don't pop quite as easily, but if they do, boy, you've got a crazier thing on your hands than just a puff.
Tune in next week for the continuation of the We're Trapped Down Under Somewhere in America and We Can't Get Out podcast.